How do you think widespread discontent and a sense of disempowerment among citizens contributes to the perceived threat to democracy due to the caused by social media platforms among younger generations or overall citizens in the United States?
I definitely do think it's harmful to the to democracy as a whole because I think if people believe that their concerns aren't being addressed by democracy, then they're willing to turn to other areas of to other like forms of government, which causes a lot of political unrest, as we saw like the January 6th riots, and people are willing to get violent with that unrest. I don't think that among the vast majority of the country there's an interest in um, that kind of upheaval. I think the people who are interested in like a violent revolution are few and far between, but I do think this kind of apathy is causing people to turn outside the political system for ways they can affect change, um, and working on like community efforts to address the issues that they care about rather than voting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the last question would be, how can you or how would you prefer to address the issues of overall oppression in society and ensure that all citizens have equal opportunities to participate in the democratic process and the problem that is caused by the social media these days?
um let's see. I think it all starts with reforming the way that voting works in this country, because the only way that we can affect the kind of change that is needed, to regulate social media platforms, to open them up to litigation such that they're not willing to host content that spreads undemocratic misinformation and disinformation, and the reason that our voting that our voting systems are kind of unfair at this point, the reason that that especially conservative and Republican people are like overrepresented in our electoral system, considering that their policies and their preferences are only held by a minority of the population, is because it's in their interest to suppress voters, and that has been reinforced over time by decisions by the Supreme Court, by the fact that the Electoral College favors states with small populations and states that happen to lean Republican. And I think the first step to addressing the apathy and making sure that we can get past this political gridlock is making sure that there's actual equal representation of everybody's beliefs in government.
And what is your personal reaction to when you see any misinformation or disinformation in the social media? How would you react, and what would you think about that?
Um, I'm just frustrated by it, and I worry about the. I know that there are people who are less media literate, especially older people, and so they're less likely to be able to spot misinformation and disinformation, and it's more likely to have like a greater effect on their mindset. And so, yeah, I think I am angry with the people who spread it to their advantage, I would say,
Oh, yeah.
and worried about the effect that it might have on uh, everything in this country.